I am done. Yo. Oh my gosh, this chapter of One Piece. Yo. I can't believe the incredibility of the amount of brutality that we got with this chapter of One Piece. Now, it's One Piece, and a lot of people, especially in New World, have complained about the fights, and, aside from, like, Luffy versus Doflamingo and a couple of other ones, they haven't been on the same level as the fights in Part 1, especially, comparing to, like, Marine Ford or something like that. It's just not cutting the mustard, you know what I mean? It's not doing the damn thing. So, you look at this fight and it's like, shut up. This fight is phenomenal, bro. Like, this is definitely, I'm calling it best Luffy fight, period. It has been amazing in so many different aspects. We already know character development wise, just a lot of different techniques learned, and so much for Luffy's character in the fight against Katakuri, and it's been shown time and time again just how much of a boss Katakuri is. But this chapter, I love that the chapter coincided with what the title was. It was straight up, I think it said something like, Luffy versus Katakuri, essentially, and that's all it was. There wasn't no other BS going out throughout the chapter. There wasn't no Big Mom. There wasn't no wedding cake. There wasn't no Capone and Chiffon, which sometimes some of that stuff is interesting and cool, especially like if you're gonna bring back the Vin Smoke or some shit like that. Okay, bring him back. Cool. Whatever. But when it gets to other points, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that we're just focusing in on these two, and so far, oh my gosh, I think it's chapter 895. This chapter, wow, blood, carnage, mayhem, Luffy versus Katakuri. Let's talk about the very beginning of the chapter. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to pause on it. We're going to talk about the cover page, because sometimes I like to talk about the cover pages occasionally. And the cover page is about Buggy, and I believe more of his people's left in regards to money, something like that. Buggy's doing bad. Next time we see Buggy, he's going to be like a very, very small group. He's still a warlord, but he's going to be in a very small group. Or they might take away the title of warlord, because everybody is slowly but surely dipping on him because of Luffy. So his hatred for Luffy is going to continue on and get even stronger after everything that continues to happen to him. And honestly, I was like, really? A Buggy cover page? Okay, this might be a nice, sweet little funny... No! Oh, it was like, yeah, you're not getting the funny right now, bro. You're not getting the hee-haws, motherfucker. It's just not happening with this chapter, because Luffy vs. Katakuri was insane. Again, Snakeman. I ain't gonna lie to you. I came into this one like, it'll be alright. It's another version of Gear 4th. Nothing really to write home about, but I gotta say, holy shit. This is definitely, for starters, out of Pound Man and any other combination that I've seen Luffy use thus far with his, Gear 4th, or even with most of the gears. I would honestly say this is one of my favorite gears out of all of them. Like, honestly, I'm not a fan of Gear 3rd. I really enjoyed Gear 4th. I thought it was something different. Going back to Gear 2nd, it was really cool. It reminded me of, like, Kaioken or something like that. Out of all of them, Gear 2nd is top there, and then Gear 4th, Gear 3rd, Gear 4th is pretty damn cool. This version of it, Snakeman, I honestly gotta say is just, I love it, because it's really diving more into catering to kind of what I've been asking for. If you've been following my One Piece reviews for a long time, I just want that one transformation, just one, where it gets this really serious look of like muscles and stuff of that nature that you would see back in the 90s and 80s in anime and manga. And I felt as though this transformation, it slimmed down slightly Gear 4th, and of course made his arms where they could kind of turn into like snake-like things, and he was stretching them around. I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of his awakening at this point, how much he could control it, because before he could always just pull it back and then snap it forward. Obviously this is a technique, but I do think that that could potentially bleed into his awakening. Maybe he could make the entire ground rubber things that could just start attacking people, similar to Snakeman. Make a bunch of rubber Snakemans awakened. Everything can become rubber Snakemen and essentially attack whoever he's fighting, so there's a possibility there. But going into the look, I love it. I am so much more like, I enjoyed what Gear 4th looked like when it was first revealed. I thought it was like, a combination of the wackiness of One Piece, but then some really epicness that you would see in another more, not serious shonen, but, something that really goes hardcore to make the cool design designs, like a Bleach or something like that. I was like, okay, but this one, a little bit more slimmed down, looks really defined. His hair looks like it's getting ready to get into some Super Saiyan pose, and that shit was sick. And then the combination, sliding his arm around to hit Katakuri. Katakuri realizes he done fucked up, and I think that is going to be very pivotal to the finale of the conversation that he has with Luffy when all is set and done, simply because it's like, I let you get too far, I let you learn too much, I let you get too strong during this battle, and now look at me. And I'm assuming that Snakeman was something that he learned as well during his stay with Rayleigh. Going back to that flashback, for example, you gotta think, okay, he, was talking to Rayleigh about how to handle that situation, and I guess Snakeman was the answer to that situation of fighting somebody with such hockey capabilities as, Katakuri, for example, the ability to see slightly into the future, and it seems as though Luffy is doing that in his own method as well, but then again, tricking at the same time. When Katakuri was surrounded and shit, it was like, whoa, what's going on? The battle, as of right now, has taken a point to, it's like, damn near even, but it's so freaking brutal at the same time. Definitely gotta say that this tops Luffy versus Lucci by a million miles at this point, because 1, they're at their max, 2, Luffy is continuing to advance in this fight, and I think now at this point, it's clear as day, it's gonna be that one final blow that is gonna get Katakuri. Also, Katakuri kind of talking a little bit in the beginning of this chapter about his character and whatnot, and honestly, it's just freaking crazy that Luffy has gotten to this point. And if you think about it, Oda threw a twist to even me in the beginning of this, and I've talked about this on several occasions. It seems as though, Katakuri really didn't like when people would talk dirt about his family and shit like that. After what happened, and he realized that they don't even got loyalty to him because he's ugly, they treat him like shit, I don't think he's gonna be that loyal to the same people that are laughing and calling him a disgrace and pathetic and no longer idolizing him. So there's change that was brought forth within this fight against Luffy for even Katakuri as well. Who knows what moves he might make after this. He might say, fuck the Big Mom Pirates, I'm doing my own thing, and I'd respect the shit out of that, because Katakuri on some bullshit. And honestly, with all that being said, bar none, getting into the chapter and what it was definitely a straight up battle chapter. There's no denying that. Luffy versus Katakuri, new techniques, new abilities, the design and the art for the new Gear 4 transformation, Snakeman. It was crazy. I also love the techniques like, King Cobra, and at the same time, you gotta think, one of the best things that's making this fight really, really good, and it's not just a stale fight, is that they're both clobbering each other bad. Like, Katakuri ain't falling behind either. He's stomping the shit out of Luffy during this fight as well, and it's showcasing that this is gonna be a fight to remember. We are going to be talking about this fight for a long time, so kinda curious, a lot of things about this chapter. Where was your mindset about it? Do you think that the Snakeman design is a damn good design? Like, this is like taking it to the next level? Do you think it's better than even not just, Gear 4th, or it's as good as Gear 4th? Do you think it's better than like Gear 3rd or Gear 2nd, or you're not really feeling it at all? Again, when I heard Snakeman, my expectations were very low, because it's like, okay, Luffy's some rubber guy, Snake, like, how's this gonna work? And all the themes behind it is really cool too, and it's always, going back into Luffy's little funny, goofy character to name these weird names for his techniques. So yeah, definitely a dope chapter with my new rating system, if you've been following. And with the new rating system, it's a little bit different. It's obviously probably sounding more arbitrary because I'm no longer going with a 1 through 10 system. So you're going to get certain phrases, and in due time, maybe I'll break it down for you guys to understand a bit more clear where I'm going with what I thought about this chapter. So with that being said, this chapter is going to be getting a oh my fucking god. Yes, that is indeed one of the ratings. It's not the top of all the ratings. It's pretty much the second to top of all the ratings that I have in my system, because as follows it goes: trash, bad, meh, okay, hype, oh my fucking god, and masterpiece. Masterpiece is a little bit, hard, difficult, but 9, oh my fucking god, essentially. And yeah, that's what that's getting. I mean, you can't deny how freaking insane it was. First of all, seeing the transformation, seeing that it wasn't a disappointment, seeing all the technique that's going into this fight. I always love technique, and that's why Hunter x Hunter is so highly regarded and praised, because every single fight has a tremendous amount of technique and, style to them, and really thought put into each and every battle. So I definitely got to give the oh my fucking god for this chapter absolute absolutely awesome. Definitely loved it. Kind of curious what you guys think. How do you think this fight is going to end? Is it going to be one final strike from the Snakeman Gear 4 transformation that's going to finish it? Or is it going to be Katakuri winning in the end and escaping? And with the whole mirror is centered to Oven, is Sanji going to have to take care of, or somebody else to get Luffy out of there? So many questions still in regards to when this fight ends, how Luffy's going to make it back to his crew, unless somehow they get some mirror that they could connect to them. So only time will tell. But yeah, that chapter freaking insane. Oh my fucking god. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day. Luffy versus Katakuri, boy. That fight. Arr!